Yo, welcome guys to a replay analysis where we haven't done one of these for a while. It's been a bit, but today we're doing one for Mr. Netero. 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 It's like an internet provider. Netero. You need a fast net, you get Netero. But we're looking at his Zerg is diamond level. Diamond 3 specifically. And he is playing a ZvT. So we're going to look at his perspective. The way we do this is we look at his we're going to actually take this off, actually. Take all of it off. Take it all off. Take it all off. You guys might be like, Vi, but I wanted to see it. No. You want to know why? Because we need to actually assume information that he gives us. And we need to help him figure out how to give himself more. Okay? That's how these work. At this point, if this was like platinum or below, it wouldn't really matter that much. But now that we're in Diamond League, the big boy pants are on, and we need to work on scouting as well. Like, a lot. So, Netero, otherwise known as Carmack, sending his overlord north. Nothing going on yet. Everything's fine. He has 3 of his 4 close patch mineral patches stacked so far. I would love to see that 4th one get stacked up. Not the biggest deal, realistically, but yeah. It's like the only thing you can do right now. Taking a natural. This drone, just to throw it out there, the drone went a little early. Again, not the biggest of deals, but just to give you an idea, you always want your drone to head towards the natural at 180 minerals. That means you're going to get there exactly at 300. So you instantly build your hatchery. Hey, I'm talking here. You shut up. Stop it. Don't ruin this for someone else. Thank you. I was fucking cracked out of his mind. Okay, we got a gas. Your build looks fine so far. And your pool. Your gas was very early. When did you actually take your gas, actually? Sorry, I got distracted by the big cock. Did you get 15 gas? What was this? Yeah, do not do that. That's not good. Do not do that. You want your drones to just be, you know, pumping like crazy, but your gas, the reason why I say don't do this, the only reason why this would ever be worth doing is if your build was about to become a Baneling all-in, like a Baneling bust, or like a Ravager bust. Like if you're gonna do some fucking really heavy all-in right now. If you're like, I'm expanding. Not really, here comes a Bane bust, motherfucker. If that's what your plan is, then maybe this could be viable, but that is so fucking early on gas. And if you were to start mining it right away too, you would rip off your mineral line and you'd be sub 16 heavily. You'd be like at 12 drones on the mineral line again. That's so fucking bad. When the gas is completed. Not good. Generally what you want to do is you want to take your gas at 18 supply instead of 15. And the main reason why that is because when you take your gas at 18 supply, it allows the gas to finish as drones 17 and beyond also finish, and you can saturate the gas with those. Which gives you a well-timed defensive Zergling speed to then macro with. But you have like optimal mineral saturation the whole time. Because right now you're also with just even if you don't saturate the gas this fast, building the gas means you're down by a drone. Sorry, I was like, my tongue and mouth weren't moving as fast as my brain was. I'm on crazy pills right now. Yeah, it's Thanksgiving. Gooble gobble. All right. Okay. I'm glad you're not pulling off to saturate the gas, but yeah, way too early though. Like that gas is like 40 seconds early. Okay. Overlord is scouting the back. This is fine. Okay, good. You just turned it. I'm glad. I was gonna say this is okay if you scout the back. You're not gonna get a read on the ramp, but the reason why I say it's okay is because this map is kind of fucked. There is no cliff to hide on, so if you get caught like right there by a marine, and let's say he makes 2 marines, one marine can just run around and fight your overlord on this side, and one marine can stay on this side, and they can kill you if you go up, if you go down, if you go left, if you go right. Your overlord's just gonna die. It's kind of, this map kind of sucks for overlord scouting if you go towards the ramp. So the fact that you scout the back, it's totally fine. You just really want to make sure you actually don't just go back here first and wait. You want to definitely see that command center. So the fact that you're doing that, super important. I hope you see the command center though. Okay, perfect. Now you can just chill. You could either stay here or you could back off. The fact that you've seen this means you're not getting cheesed, and you're good. Now you're safe to like. You can make like anti-reaperlings and drones, and you're fine. You can take a third, and you can do all your normal shit if whatever you want to do, macro-wise. But this is super important to see that. So the fact that you turned overlord, I'm glad you did that. That's fine. That's good.
Base is under attack.
You have a diva announcer. Oh shit. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. I've actually never used a diva. I don't think I can handle the diva. I'm not gonna lie. For like 2 games with it, I feel like I gotta change this shit. All right. Okay, your second gas really early. We'll have to see what your goal is here, but you're not taking your drones off your first gas. You're taking a third base, and you're taking a second gas. Your gas looks out of place. Your gas looks way too heavy. Like I'm honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm fully expecting you to have 400 gas here pretty soon, with your layers not even done yet, and you don't even have a bane nest or a roach warren. Like you're gonna just have crazy fucking gas, and nothing to spend it on. So what you want to do, this is how you want to do it. Mine zergling speed. And there is only one justified, or okay, there's 2. I'll explain the second one in a second, because if I'm really getting technical here, there's actually a second one. But the first reason why it is only ever acceptable to mine gas with 3 drones after you get zergling speed started is if you're going to get overlord speed, and you're really paranoid about scouting. If you're that kind of a guy that really wants overlord speed as well, that's okay. You don't need it. You don't have to have it. It is okay if you want to do it though. It's okay. Like you can do it. The second reason why you would only ever mine gas after starting zergling speed would be if you scouted what looked like an all-in and you wanted to get like roaches or banes or something to defend yourself, because you're like, oh fuck, he's about to like all-in the shit out of me and I want to make more than zergling queen static D. Like you want to make ravagers or something, whatever. If you want to make some unit that costs gas, it would also be okay to keep mining gas. Otherwise, it's so bad. So what you want, but if let's say it's like this game right now. It's a command center. It's not an all-in, and let's say you're also not going to get overlord speed. You're just going to macro. No overlord speed addition. What you want to do instead, these are important to. This is an important thing to memorize. Take your drones off, 2 drones off of your gas, anywhere between the range of 80 to 100 gas, and turn in the gas. If you take them off and they have gas in their hands, make sure you turn it in before you just turn it into minerals. Like don't just waste it and turn it into minerals in their hands instead. Make sure you return cargo on that gas and then tell them to go mine minerals. And again, anywhere between 80 to 100 is okay, because that means you're almost at zergling speed right there. And let's say you pull 2 drones off at 80, which means you're actually going to be at 88 when you pull them off, because you turn in their gas as you pull them off. And then finally that last drone comes back and turns in gas for 92, but you leave him on gas, and he has to do 2 more solo trips by himself, which will take only like 7 seconds or something, and then it starts zergling speed. That's totally fine. Okay. But the goal is, this is the goal. You want to have 100 gas by about 4 minutes. You have 168 by 3:13 and you're still mining with 3, and you're about to have a second gas with 6 drones possibly here pretty soon. So what you could have by 4 minutes would be like 400 gas. The reason why you want to have 100 gas by 4 minutes, this is important to know this number. 4 minutes is a big boy number to remember against Terran. The reason why having 100 gas by 4 minutes is value is because you can start a layer at 4 minutes, and your natural mineral line should be fully saturated by then as well. You can then put 2 more new drones on this gas and start a baling nest somewhere in your base, wherever the fuck you want to put it, with your next 50 gas that these 3 drones will give you at that point, when you have 32 plus on the minerals. And what that does, why this is so important, is because if your layer starts around 4 minutes, maybe like 4 to 4:10, 4:20, somewhere in that time frame, it doesn't have to be exactly at 4 minutes, because you want to spin your larva as a priority, but like a little after 4 minutes, within like 10 or 20 seconds after 4 minutes, you start a layer, and then you make a baling nest after. It allows you to get baling speed at a optimal time if you make baling speed right when your layer is done, so that when the Terran pushes you with a 2-base all-in or a 3-base timing attack, you have baling speed, which changes the entire way you can defend that. Creep spread plus baling speed makes really easy defenses against Terran pushes. Like, way easier than normal. If you don't have baling speed against Terran pushes, the odds of you dying are very high. So that is the whole goal for Zerg early game. And anything more than that, you better be all-inning, otherwise it's just bad. Like, you don't need a ton of gas to like stockpile gas more than you need other than upgrades early on and the initial tech. Anyways, continuing on. Like, this is gonna be a recurring thing we're gonna talk about a lot. We're gonna talk about your gas a shitload throughout this replay analysis, because it fucks you over the way you're doing it pretty hard. One thing as well you need to do that you didn't do, but it's hard to do if you don't. This is once again referencing the gas. It makes your minerals very hard to come by. It's expensive to have this many drones mining gas this early for this long. But what you should have instead right now is a queen in your hatchery being built again. Because what you want to have happen, if you don't do this, something fucked up somewhere. This hatchery should be having a queen walking like right there right now, approaching it, so that the second the hatchery is done, it ejected immediately. It's auto-injected right away. And there's a third queen here that replaces this queen and ejects it immediately. So you have literally the second queen, the second your first 2 queens spawn out of your first 2 hatcheries, for the rest of the game there is not a single hatchery that you make up until you're on like 4 or 5 bases that does not have a queen immediately injecting it the second it's done. If you don't do that, your larva is going to be so fucking far behind. Also, your first choice with your larva or with your energy on your queen should actually have been a creep tumor instead of a inject on this base. Because now, if this Terran player goes for Hellions, you have nothing to defend your drones right here. Because your creep is going to be so far delayed getting to this base, you have no actual real means to defend it. So Hellions can drive in, kill drones, drive out. Nothing's going to stop them. And anyone out there who's like, what about Zerglings, vibe? If you've ever tried to kill Hellions off creep with Zerglings, it sometimes can be a fucking nightmare. Killing Hellions on creep is so much better than killing them off creep.
You have an evolution complete. Show me those skills.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, remember what I said? You're going to have almost 400 gas by 4 minutes. Like, what is happening with this gas? There's nothing happening with the gas. This is so much gas that you need not. So, okay, let me say it like this too. This is something that I've said this before, and this is a very good, this is like a super good explanation. I think a lot of people don't understand. Sometimes people out there, I think, don't understand, and they think to themselves, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start mining gas because you need it, right? It's a resource in the game, and I don't know how much of it I need, but I need it. So I'm going to mine it. And that's that, right? So you're thinking, you're like, I need gas, so I need to mine it. Because who knows how much I'm gonna need and when I need it. But here's the thing. Every single unit in the game that is based off of a hatchery and a layer, with the exception of just the infestor, I guess also the muta. The point I'm trying to make here is, okay, let me say it like this. This is a better way to say it because now I am making exceptions. Mutalisk, infestor, and viper don't follow the rule of what I'm about to say. And the reason why is because they cost more gas than mineral. Or the same. Mutas cost 1-to-1 ratio, 1 gas to 1 mineral. Infestors are 1.5 to 1. Gas is more expensive for them than minerals. And vipers are 2-to-1 ratio, double the gas cost compared to the mineral cost. So it's like it's a high gas cost is what I'm trying to tell you. Like those units cost a lot of gas. So those 3 units don't follow the rule of what I'm about to say. And I would honestly say there's probably a good chance we might not see a single one of those 3 units in this game. Anyways. Definitely not right now, because they're tech units that you can't even make until layer. But here's the thing. Every single other unit in the game, Ultralisk, Roach, Hydra, Baneling, Zergling, all of these fucking units cost more minerals than gas. If you equate all of their rounded fucking amounts and shit. And you can literally make them as fast as you get larva out of the base. Like you can generate enough money out of a single base. Like once you, if you're like, okay, I'm going to make a roach warren right now. And in the time you're making the roach warren, if you go, I have no gas yet. Let's go double gas right now on this base. The gas you start generating can build roaches faster than you generate larvae. You generate the gas it costs to make those units faster than you can generate the larva to make those units. So you get more money than you spend, gas included. And the only reason why ultras work like this as well is because they're so goddamn supply heavy. You fucking max out so fast and your gas just goes up again. But I hope that makes sense. So like stockpiling gas does nothing for you if you're already going to stockpile anyways if you start mining it as you want to build the unit. You can make roaches, hydras, lings, banes faster. You can mine out the resources they cost faster than what the larva generates to just make the unit off of one base. That is so important to understand that concept, because this is like the most common problem so many people have. They think stockpiling gas is good, but it's so bad. Because all stockpiling gas does to you right now is it makes you mine minerals slower. And what are you building right now? You're building queens, hatcheries, drones, overlords, zerglings. Not a single one of those units costs gas. Not one. The only thing that costs gas out of all of that is zergling speed, which is only 100. But like, right now at 4 minutes, this base should be at 16 drones on the mineral line, and this gas should be going back up to 3 right now. This mineral line should say 16 drones on it. This mineral line should say like 5 drones on it. So right now, you're behind by just a couple drones on your third base, and you're behind by half a mineral line at your natural. So here's a crazy thing, okay? Right now, just right now, we'll say you're 8 drones behind here and you're 3 drones behind on your third base. So that's 8 plus 3. Okay. Now every second that goes by, every single second that goes by, this is how much money you're losing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. The reason why I'm getting this math like this is because one drone, on average, gets one turn-in about every 5 seconds. And a turn-in is worth 5 minerals. So you're getting about 1 mineral per second on average. And you're never going to get the drones back that you have not made right now. And if your drones aren't generating minerals as fast as they could be, you're building your hatcheries slower, you're building your queens slower, you're using your larvae slower. So it adds up over time. And suddenly, when you're at 7 minutes, you're at like 120 supply. When someone else who's Zerg as well, you're looking at their build and they're at 190, and you're like, or like 182 or some shit. And you're like, what the fuck? How is this guy so high on supply right now? We're both going roaches. The fuck is this? Like, it adds up pretty hard. So, and like, there has to always be a reason why you're not prioritizing your investment, like your macro element, which is mineral-based economy. Why are we not going minerals right now? What's the reasoning? If it's like, well, Vibe, we're doing a Baneling all-in. We're doing a 1-1 double Evo Chamber upgrade timing attack that's like kind of an all-in. We're doing a Ravager all-in. These are justifiable reasons why we won't have minerals as heavy as we do, because there's some part of our build that's like using this. But if the reason is, why do we not have minerals like we should? Because we have a gas bank. That makes no sense. Because this actually makes you make units slower at the end of the day. Gas banking so that you can make like 10 hydras at once later on is slower than just macroing properly, having a crazy fucking economy that you shift into gas later, and you can make 30 hydras progressively, like really fucking fast. Because you have more hatcheries, more creep, more larva, more bases, more fucking drones, giving you more money to afford all of it. It's just worse. So, gas needs to be respected. I'm trying to explain why gas needs to be respected, but here's... If everything I said is kind of confusing, and you're like, vibe, okay, you're giving me... You're showing your work right now, and I don't understand. It's making me feel confused. Can you just give me the answer? Yes, here it is. This is the answer. Listen right now. 3 drones on gas. When you take your 18 gas, like 17 hatch, 18 gas, 17 pool. Those 3 drones. 3 drones on gas until you have 100. Anywhere between 80 and 100. Take 2 off. Leave it until you're at 4 minutes. And at 4 minutes, not only should 4 minutes be 4 minutes, but by now, that should be a checkpoint that says, I'm fully saturated on my natural. If you're not fully saturated on your natural by 4 minutes, there's a fucking problem there. But 1 drone on gas until fully saturated on 2 bases. As soon as you're fully saturated on 2 bases, rally your hatcheries to your 3rd base, make 2 drones out of eggs, go to the gas. Do not rip off the mineral line. 2 new drones you make, put them on the gas. Do not take any more gas until your 3rd mineral line is 16. So you have 48 drones mining minerals and 3 mining gas. And then make more drones. And don't take off the minerals. Do not take off the minerals. Like re-rally all your hatcheries to their own bases. So you have 16, 16, 16, and now suddenly you have like 18, 19, 19. Then you make gas. And then you make more drones. And you do not ever go below 16. You fill up the gases with more drones again that are excess. And then now you'll have 3-3-16, 3-3-16, 3-3-16. Or it could be 3-3-19, 3-3-17, 3-3-18. That's fine. Don't worry so much about being a little over. It's actually okay. Like, as long as it's not over 24, that's fine. I would say anywhere between 16 and 20 is actually fucking good. Like, you're good to go, because those drones, generally speaking, will transfer themselves to a far patch, and they'll get pretty decent efficiency. And it's okay. You'll get good money from it. It's fine. So don't be such a stickler on it. Just never go below 16, because your economy will suffer if you do that, like hard. Because up to 16 is 100% efficiency on drones, generally speaking. And the time frame, here's the beautiful thing, okay? The time frame. We're gonna fast forward this. We'll come back in a second, okay? But I'm gonna fast forward this. If you do not have 66 drones, that means 3 bases fully saturated, gases included. If you do not have 66 drones by 6 minutes, your build needs to be fucking improved, like heavily, because realistically, you could actually have like 70 drones by 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Like if you're Masters GM level, totally 70 drones by 5:30, 100%. If you're Diamond League, 66 by 6 minutes, you're still doing really good for Diamond League. That's like an appropriate Diamond League measurement, I would say. So like right now, if we were watching, I'm not even kidding, dude. If we were watching a replay of mine right now, I'd have 70 drones right now. It's 5:30, I'd have about 70 drones. Yeah, 57. That's not that bad. Could be better, but that's not actually that bad.
They're in your base, killing your drones.
And at 6 minutes, you have 63. But right now, where are these 63 drones? You have 4 here, 0 there, 18 here, 25 here, 3 here, 3 here. You definitely have a decent drone count, but they're spread out in a horrible way. Like, I would say about like 6 of these drones, or like 7 of these drones need to be going to the 3rd base from your main. And then you just need to like fix your saturation of your gas. And then you'd be fine. And then make more drones. Because again, you don't stop, by the way, for people who don't understand, you don't stop droning at 66, by the way. You actually stop droning for a moment. You stop droning just for a moment at like around 70 to make like 1 inject worth of zerglings on all your hatcheries. You want to make like probably like 30 lings or like 24 lings or some shit, so that you don't die to an attack while you take your 4th base. And then right after that, you drone your 4th base. If you're not getting all in, if you see a 3rd command center from Terran, or you see Terran's like not attacking you, and he's macroing a 3rd somehow, or he's just macroing, you can totally saturate your 4th base and have like 85 to 90 drones off of like a macro hatch, 4 bases, and maybe start like a 5th base then as well. Like fast macro, essentially. Lots of larva, because your build is a zergling build. If you don't have a lot of hatcheries and a lot of larva, your money is going to go up to the thousands very easily. Like, for Diamond League, I'm not even kidding, I would even say make double macro hatches. Like, put 2 extra hatcheries in your main base. Around the point when you get 3 base saturated. Because I don't think you're going to have perfect injects all game.
Your drones are under attack. Talk about BM. Queen's ready.
Fucking
Here
diva.
comes the
Talk about
warrior.
BM! What the fuck?
Your forces are under attack.
Okay. So, your macro is, I would say your macro is about where you're supposed to be right now. If you just like fix what I told you, if you fix the gas thing I told you, the whole explanation of gas, if you do that, and you also fix the saturation of where your drones go, and you saturate a little bit more optimally, easily you would get a higher, I would say you would have like a master's level of droning if you, the way you drone this game. Because you were just a little bit under threshold and you had a shitty opener of like what I would say diamond is, you're good to go at diamond for. So like what I'm trying to tell you is easy clear improvement if you fix the gas and you fix your saturation route and you fix your queen. Like you didn't have a queen at your 3rd right away. That would also help a lot. Because you probably missed out on like 6 larvae because of that. Because you probably missed like 2 injects because of that. So that is an easy fix for you. So I would give your macro, like, work on it, what we talked about, and you'll have a success there, okay? For the opener of the game. One thing, though, you need to do a lot more than you are is you need to make more than 3 queens. You have 4 queens. Sorry. You need to make more than 4 queens. And this, I feel like these other 2 queens came out really late. You need to honestly try to make like 8 queens or like 9 queens. And the reason why this is so good to do this is because it's like, it's very multi-purpose. It has a lot of utility in the early game because it gives you a lot of creep spread and a lot of power in your defense. And then later on, when you don't need these queens to be part of your defense anymore because you have hydras or banelings and zerglings and mutas or whatever the fuck, you have a bunch of other units that can do the job better. You trickle the queens off that are creep spreaders, and you put them on, like, this queen can now go to this base and eject it. If you had a macro hatch, as soon as it's done, another queen backs off from creep spreading, becomes an injector. You can literally go up to like 6 or 7 queens injecting. That's not bad, especially if you're doing a zergling build. And then the rest of your queens, like let's say you made 8 queens, and you made up to like 7 hatcheries. You could have 7 queens injecting hatcheries and 1 queen not creep spreading, but instead fixing creep. And what does that mean? By about 7 to 8 minutes, or we'll say like 8 minutes, like realistically. By about, if it's like Diamond League, maybe 9 minutes. By about like 8 or 9 minutes, you should have creep already going in every single direction. The fact that at 7 minutes you have creep just now touching your 3rd to your natural, and just now touching your natural to your 4th base, which is like 2 tumors. It's like this one spread 3 times and this one spread twice. Or actually, sorry, 3 times as well. There was a creep tumor there as well into the zerglings. So you've spread 2 tumors 2 times each. You made 2 tumors and you spread them both twice in 7 minutes. That is some very weak creep spread. Right now, there should be creep going down this ramp, this direction overall, like 4 tumors going this direction. There should be like a tumor going up this way. There should be like 2 tumors going this way. There should be like a tumor going here and more tumors going this way, this way, this way. Every direction should be like starting to spread. I'm not telling you should have creep across half the map right now, but your creep should be like there, like here, through that part. It should be approaching the ramp right now. It should be about here right now on all this area. You should have creep going down here right now as well, like towards this expansion already. Okay, maybe that's a bit far. Maybe creep here. Because, again, the way this map is, like, your natural's pretty far out there. So, because this is not your 3rd. Because you spread creep this way first. So, 100% should be down this ramp, because that's where you spread initially. But not down this ramp yet. It should be, like, here. Your creep should be a lot better. And why is your creep not good? You might ask, Vibe, why is this creep not good? I don't understand. Because his first fucking usage of his queen was not a creep tumor. It was inject. And he never made a 3rd or a 4th queen until much later. So, and he didn't make more than 4 queens in total. So right now he has 1 queen trying to do all the creep spread. And it's also not you doing it either. It has 100 energy. So your creep spread needs some fucking love. Your creep spread is not diamond level, I would say. Your creep spread's probably like gold level right now. Definitely got to work on that. That is so important to fix that. That is one of the main reasons why you are good or bad with Zerg. Like, you'll get to a point when your creep is going to decide whether you win or lose games. It really does. With how good or bad it is, especially against Terran and Protoss. Maybe not so much against Zerg, but against Terran and Protoss, absolutely. So definitely got to work on your creep a lot. Get more queens. Actively do it more. Just understand that. Understand this, okay? Creep is actually a shorter cooldown than inject. Creep overall is a 22-second cooldown. Inject is a 29. It's a 29-second cooldown. So you can actually spread creep more often than you inject hatcheries. So at the very least, you should be doing 1 round of creep per inject cycle. And if you're not doing that, fix that. Because if you really think about it, every like 3rd inject cycle you do, you could actually squeeze in a bonus creep spread through that cycle. Like it would be like You do a creep spread, 22 seconds. You do an inject, 29 seconds. You do a creep spread again. Now that's 44 seconds. You do another inject. That's now 58 seconds. See what I mean? Your creep is going to come up again at 66 seconds. And your next inject is not going to happen until a minute 27. So you can literally do another creep spread at 106. And then again at 128. So it literally, like, you could get 4 creep spreads for every 3 injects you do if you're really on point. Because it's faster cooldown. Because it's an 11-second build time for a creep teamer, and then it's an 11-second cooldown once it builds to then spread again. That's how it works. So it's 22 in total. But you have to be on top of it every 22 seconds. But at the very least, just do a round of creep spread every time you inject. If you're not doing that, fix that. That needs to be improved. Yo, BWG, thank you very much for the 2 gifted subs. Thanks, man. That is so important to fix that. Because your creep needs it. It definitely needs improvement. Okay, so back to your build. Again, stuff like this where you're like taking your gas and stuff. You have 4 gases rolling right now. You don't even have a bait nest. You have Evo chambers way too early. These Evo chambers should be built around 7 minutes. Evo chambers should be built alongside your like 4th base. Like your macro hatch. It's way too early right now. This is way too early. Like, to be fair, even after your 4th base. Basically, what you want to have your 3 bases saturated on the mineral lines entirely by about 5.5 to 6 minutes. Okay? I thought you wanted to get upgraded to layer. I thought you wanted to when you upgrade to layer. No. This is way too early for... This is way too fucking early for upgrades. The only time you would ever get upgrades early in the game is if you were doing a build where you're not going to get a layer at all right away. You're instead going to go for like a 1-1 build on hatchery tech. Which is sometimes that is viable. But if you're not doing that, if you're going layer instead, there's only one reason why you would ever go layer against Terran early like this. And it's for baneling speed. If it's not for baneling speed, why? Why go layer then? There's no point. You can obviously get upgrades later, but the whole point I'm trying to make here is you're constantly if you keep doing shit like this, it just fucks up your minerals because you prioritize gas, because you'll never be able to afford these upgrades on a 1 gas income when you're also going layer and bane speed. Like, this is not a part of the equation. What you do, just hear me out, okay? Hear me out. Between 5:30 and 6 minutes, if you're not fully saturated on your mineral lines, there's a problem there. And by 6 minutes, not only should you be fully saturated on the mineral lines, and it should maintain that, you should then also be fully saturated on your gases at 6 minutes. However, when you start building your gases, okay? This should be something you should make a rule for yourself. When you start building your gases, so you start building all 5 gases that are not the one you started with, at that exact moment, I want you to take your 4th base, and I want you to take a macro hatch. Every single game. Do it from now on. Double hatchery as soon as you hit 16 on all your bases. 4th base and macro hatch, and then take all your gas on those 3 bases. If it's a 2 base all in, it doesn't matter. You can easily be 3 base Zerg and defend a 2 base Terran. And one of the big reasons why it makes it so easy to do that, baneling speed, queen count. If you had like 7 queens or 8 queens or 9 queens and baneling speed, you wouldn't be worried about a Terran attack. You wouldn't give a shit. You'd be like, yeah, come attack me on my creep. That's really big right now because I spread a lot of it with baneling speed. Good luck. It wouldn't matter. And your macro would also be off the fucking chain right now. It'd be off the charts because you'd have 66 drones pumping your fucking economy up really fast. That would easily allow you to just slam out mass Ling Bane. And you should also have, when the hatcheries are done, 5 queens injecting 5 hatcheries. If you have 5 queen injecting 5 hatch, and you're getting all in, and you have 5 rounds of injected lings coming out repeatedly, the chances of you holding that are very high. Very high. You just make Banes constantly, and you just ram them with it over and over. Never stop macroing. Don't even need upgrades there. When you want to get upgrades is when you've already established your economy around, by this point it'll be about 7 minutes. You've established your economy, you're good to go, and you have excess. You don't need this gas for Banes anymore. You don't need this gas for Bane speed anymore. You've started your tech structure, like your Spire or your Hydrogen or whatever the fuck you want to make. And you also, at the same time, now can make your Evo chambers. Because now you have a little bit of a surplus of gas. Not at the expense of your minerals, but as an excess to your minerals. So you can now afford more things like upgrades. You're literally getting upgrades at the expense of your minerals the way you're doing it. Because you're prioritizing gas before mineral. Like, well, watch your third base. If you make those gases anywhere before 16, it's once again fucking you over.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
So it says 21 right now, which is fine. But right now you do have 11 drones on it. Because these other drones are on the way. Like, this was a massive transfer from your main base. You have 10 drones transferring right now, which are not there. Like, that should not have looked like that. It looks like it looks like it should be okay, but it's kind of fucked still, right? Because of that. That was not supposed to happen. This is like when you had 25 here. But yeah, as long as you're not building your gas when you have like 5 drones on it or some shit, the better. Mineral priority over gas priority. And this will be on YouTube, by the way. I post all these replay analysis to YouTube because it's like a coaching lesson. A little bit rough there, losing the queen, but whatever, not a big deal. Like right now, though, you're going roaches and banes. Okay, roaches. I don't mind the roach warren if you thought this was mech. That's okay. But otherwise, I don't understand. Baneling nest, way too late. Way too fucking late on the baneling nest. This thing should have been made 3 minutes ago. 4 minutes ago. Like, no, 3 minutes ago. At 4 minutes, a little after the layer, should have made the baneling nest. This is so fucking late. You made a lot of siege tanks. So we'll go back to your scouting for a second. That right there was a sign of mech, what we just saw. That's the biggest sign of mech of all. Fucking floating barracks. Okay, so he's got a bunker, he's got tank, he's walling off. You have a Zergling here. You have an Overlord here. You have another Overseer here. You see a barracks floating across right now. The second you saw that, mech. This is totally mech. No one fucking makes barracks and floats them around when they're going by. Oh.
Your drones are under attack. Talk about
I do. Okay. You're next level Terran. You're like, I spent 1,000 minerals to scout around the map with barracks.
Your forces are taking damage. Terrible, terrible damage. That mineral is gone. Looks like we're going to the late game. You've evolved your Zerg.
All right. So yeah, now if the Roach Warren is here for mech, that's fine. The Roach, the way how you built it, I feel like it's fine. Now here's something I would say. Okay, a little tip here, a little bit of a tip. If you think it is mech, which I do, I do think it is mech as well right now. I would actually cancel this upgrade and I would start melee. I would get weapon upgrades and no armor. I want you to know that Carapace on ground units is actually pointless against mech. It doesn't do anything. The amount of hits it takes tanks and Thors to kill units on the ground is the same either way. And the amount of hits it takes Hellions to kill Zerglings is the same either way. Like, you're not going to fucking change the outcome of that fight like that. There's breakpoints, and this does not change the breakpoints of your units getting shot at by, like, tanks and Thors and Hellions. Specifically, Hellions on Zerglings. Because of Blue Flame. Like, Blue Flame just fucking obliterates. So, I would cancel your Carapace and go for a melee instead. Because that would make your Zerglings better for, like, run-bys and shit like that when you get damage. Okay. So right now, you're at 8 minutes at 63 drones. Not good. You should have 80 drones by like 7 minutes. Maybe even towards 90, like 88 drones by 7 minutes. The only reason why you would ever not have that is because you have a large army because you were defending an all-in. Or like you were trading units constantly to defend an all-in. But if you're the kind of guy, don't ever be this guy. This is not the guy you want to be. Don't ever be the guy that doesn't scout anything and thinks to himself, he's probably all-inning me. I'm going to make units now. And then you just fucking make units and sit on it. And sit on it. And sit on it. And sit on it. And before you know it, it's fucking 8 minutes and you have 60 drones. That's bad. And the thing is you actually don't even have an army, really. You have 5 roaches and 19 zerglings and 15 larva. That's not really efficient use of your larva. You're like, you could definitely have more than you do. You have 93 supply at 8 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, you could be maxed out. Here's the crazy thing, guys. I don't know if you know this, but you could actually be maxed out before 7 minutes. Obviously not realistically in a ladder game, okay? I just want you to know that's not a realistic thing for a ladder game. But you actually could in a realistic ladder game. The build I just explained a second ago, you could totally be maxed out before 8 minutes. If you wanted to be. Hesitating is worse than anything. Let me throw that out there. If you just don't do anything with your money, that is worse than spending it on the wrong thing. That is actually a fact. You're better off spending your money on the wrong thing than you are just not spending and not using your resource, because you're not generating larvae now on a lot of your hatcheries. There we go. You just made something. What was it? You made 15 roaches. Terran's expanding. Also, keep in mind too, you might have been scouting this base and this base and this base and this base and thinking to yourself, man, this guy's not taking a third base. When you might be also forgetting that this exists. Right? He actually does have a third base.
Mineral field depleted.
Love you, Vibe. Love you too. You're the best.
That mineral field evolution complete.
Okay. So right now, at 9 minutes, you still have the same drone count. You have less drones than you did a second ago. You had 63 a minute ago. Now you have 61. The reason why is because you built 2 buildings. And you have not made a single drone in the last few minutes. You are playing this so scared. And you haven't been attacked. Just imagine if you just made drones and you had like 88 drones right now. And here's the difference, okay? This is the difference. This is the difference. If you had like 88 drones right now, like almost 30 more drones than you do right now, what would happen is you would max out faster. You would develop a bank behind the max. And if you took a bad fight, you would have enough money to remax immediately. as opposed to making units like you did, maxing slower, because your economy is very weak right now. And then if this army dies, you have no way to replace it because you have no money. You have no bank. Like, this economy is garbage. Like, look at this. Right now, you have 9, 19, 35, 41. You have 41 drones mining minerals right now. 41. And your composition is roachling. That is fucking brutal. What you should have right now, I'm not even fucking shitting you, is out of a drone count of like 88 drones, you should have about 6 gas and the rest on minerals. You should have about 82 fucking drones mining minerals right now. To make roachling. Not even fucking shitting you. You would have like a 4th base with good saturation, and you'd have a 5th base that would have some saturation on it as well. With minerals. Because what is your composition? It's fucking cheap as shit on the gas. It's a pure mineral unit, and it's a very cheap 3-to-1 ratio mineral to gas unit. 75 mineral, 25 gas. Heavy mineral unit. And as soon as you would go, you know what I want to do now? I want to go mutas. I want to go this gas unit. Then you can take your gas. Then you can go, okay, you know what? I'm ready for this gas unit. Let's take some gas. Let's take some more gas. Let's go from 6 gas to 10 gas. And that's fine. But having 82 drones on minerals and 6 drones on, or sorry, I said 6 drones. I actually said that backwards. Because that's only 1 base. That's 6 gases. That's not 1 drone per gas. That's 18 drones on gas. So that's 70 drones mining minerals. I totally don't know where I got that. I fucked that up, but yeah, I fixed it now. Still, 70 drones mining minerals. 70 drones mining minerals. It's a fucking shitload more than 41. So, the reason why this sucks, the reason why you hate mech, is because you're trying to win the game with this army. That's your mistake right now. I'm going to tell you right now, your mistake is that this army needs to win the game. If you're playing Zerg that way, you are not playing Zerg correctly. What you should be thinking right now is this army is disposable because I can instantly remake it. And the only goal I have with this army is starving the Terran. What you're doing with this army is fine. The fact that you're trying to attack the command center and not let him expand, and you're not diving into the base and getting suiciding into the tanks right now, you're just trying to kill the command center and be annoying as fuck, that's actually good. That's fine. But every unit that dies when you do this is hard to replace because your economy sucks. It's a little better now at 9.5 minutes. But remember that example I gave earlier with this? That you know, there was like 3 minutes that went by. 3 minutes that went by when you had fucking like 30 drones less than you should have. Let's hit 30 plus 30 180 times. Because that's 3 minutes, right? You gotta be like, I'm not gonna obviously do it 180 times, but you get the point. It adds up pretty fucking fast as to the money you're missing out on. You get my point? Obviously, if you go 30 times 180, this is how much money you missed out on. 5,400 minerals. From 6 minutes to 9 minutes. And you're not even there yet either. You're still at 77. You're like halfway there. So now it's only going to be 5,400 is the baseline of missing it. And now it's going to be like, let's say like 10 more times. Let's say it takes 3 more minutes to make the last 10. 10 times 180. See what, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I understand. I suck. It's okay. Carmack, don't fucking say that. I'm just trying to make this really stick in. Everybody does this, okay? Don't feel bad. Don't make me feel bad for talking shit here, okay? Or like making you sound bad. I'm a very empathetic person. I'll feel bad if I think I make you feel bad. But the point is, you are missing so much money that you don't realize because you're just not realizing it. So hopefully this makes you realize it more. Because again, you might think to yourself, well, other Zergs do this and people say this is good to do. I'm denying the command center. It's fine. It's actually good. But you can't fucking replace what dies though, which is the bad part. You just maxed out for the first time at 10 minutes. On Roach Ravager. Lingbane. Mostly Roach Ravager. The idea is getting a sustainable playstyle. Exactly. 100% correct.
Our forces are under.
The biggest problem, again, everybody has at lower leagues is they always think that the first army they make is supposed to win the game. That's not fucking real at all. That's how you have no stamina. That's like trying to say, okay, we got to run a marathon, so I'm gonna sprint for fucking 15 seconds, and then what are you gonna do for the rest of the next 2 hours? I don't fucking know.
Attack.
Walk? Okay.
Mineral field defeated. Evolution complete. So
Steve, did you laugh at my joke? You laughed at my joke, guys.
old school.
Yeah. Okay. It's starting to get kind of cringy.
You're
Let's stop.
engaging the opponent. Ghost mutation. Your base is under attack. Stay cool.
Yo, large boss, thanks for the bits.
That mineral field's gone. Looks like we're going to the late game.
So at this point, your composition is a mixture of Lingbane, Roach Ravager. I would say the best thing you could do to engage this army would be more on the Lingbane side, less on the Roach Ravager side. Because what Banes could do is they could get rid of all the Hellbats, and what Lings could do is they could get all over all the tanks. And then you just pounce on the army with like a nice, like, if you want to surround it and like get like a multi-engagement, like go behind it and in front of it at the same time, that's fine. But you need to like get all the fucking tanks, because that would get rid of their ability, their advantage essentially. You'd make them kill themselves and then they would die. And your Lings would also add damage to that. But if you stay at like max range and let tanks shoot you repeatedly, just so you can crucify one tank, the kind of trades you're giving yourself there when you do that, you might kill like 1, maybe 2 tanks if they're stacked up, and you lose like fucking 8 roaches and like 5 ravagers because you're letting like 15 tanks shoot you.
Yeah.
Yo, BK, thank you.
Thanks for always answering my SC2 questions.
Thank you, man. Also, Viper is fine. Viper works. If you get a nice blinding cloud on all the tanks, that would work. It took you a little bit longer than I would say it maybe should have to make it, but it works. It is an option, so that's not a bad option. It is more difficult to use a Viper in Diamond League than I would say it's worth. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I fully expect when you use the Viper, you're gonna select an army with it. You're not gonna, like, you have it in its own control group right now. We'll see how that goes. I feel like it's going to get forgotten. Like, this unit will probably get forgotten repeatedly and not be used properly. Or it will go in and die if there's Thors and shit. Like, it's hard to use a Viper. It's not something I would ever recommend to a Diamond player. Like, as the first choice. But you see what's happening here as well? what's happening right now is this Terran army that is somehow 130 supply is just like the fist of fucking death that is pushing and 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 pushing. And you can't stop it. When in reality, all you had to do was just throw bodies at it and kill it. Weaken it and kill it. Well, a great way you could have done that is using the unit that you have on the north side of the map right now that's counterattacking. This unit should absolutely be defending this fight right now. Like, throw Locust at the fucking tanks. Have the Locust land on the tanks. Engage with Roach Ravager, Ling Bane. Get all over him. Fucking take a trade before your bases die. How can you do that? Have better creep spread so you can see it further than your fucking ramp. More than like 1 second of a warning before it's at your hatchery. But yeah, like if you had like Swarm Host attacking into this army, and then Ling Bane, Roach Ravager supports it, even if you lose every fucking Ling Bane Roach Ravager, and all the Swarm Hosts stay alive because they throw their Locust in and run away, you could remake the army. Ideally, that's the point that should be there. Remake all your Ling Bane Roach Ravager, whatever the fuck you want to make out of that, and then the next time the Locust wave is ready again, do it again. Another Locust wave hits it at the same time as your whatever you remade. And you will crush this army over time doing that if the Terran doesn't have as much money as you do. Which is what you were accomplishing with Roach Ravager previously. Not the Swarm Host. But you're trying to like counterattack the Swarm Host and defend with like some weird sub-supply army. Like this guy's supply is 135, but you're trying to defend it with less supply than he has. Like right now in production you have 16 supply in roaches and you have 8 supply in zerglings. That is 24 supply in total. And right here you have 5 ravagers, which is 15 supply. You have 7 roaches, which is 14 supply. You have 4 vipers, which is 12 supply. Overall, I didn't do the math on it, everything I just said, but I'm going to guess your total supply in your defense here is about 60, 70. Probably 60-ish. I don't know if I can't remember everything number I said. Over here, though, you have 14 fucking Swarm Host. 3 supply per Swarm Host. That is 48 supply. Just fucking chilling at his base.
Your forces are taking damage. They're in your base, killing your drone.
Like, I guess it's also Blinding Cloud would have been your best friend here. This is why, again, perfect. Sorry, Carmack, I'm going to shit on you again. Perfect reason why I say don't fucking use Diamond League Vipers. You have to identify a situation and understand what is value, right? You have to look at something and assess really quickly. What's value here? What is the most efficient way to do this? This is the most opportune Blinding Cloud engagement you're ever going to get. Ever. Motherfucker stacks his fucking tanks like he's playing Tetris. This is the tightest stack I've ever fucking seen. Blinding Cloud there, Blinding Cloud there, they're all fucking disabled. But instead you start abducting it. You go out of energy when you abduct like 4 tanks. And then the other like 6, 7 tanks just drill your ass.
They're in your base, killing your drone.
And now you're back to square one. You can't engage this again. I mean, the Swarmhost are doing something, but I'm not gonna lie, I would not say making a command center lift off and then killing a couple factories is more value than losing that base, that base, that base, and like all your fucking drones. And now this base. And ultimately the game, I would assume, soon.
You're engaging the opponent. Time to raise your APM.
There you go. So like that fight could have been so much more efficient too if your Vipers came in faster. Like if you just waited for the Vipers to come in a little earlier, and then you blinding clouded all of the fucking tanks again, like you did here just now, you would have lost nothing in that fight. But instead you lost like 3/4 of your new army again to just finish the tanks off. You actually might win this game because this Terran doesn't macro. This Terran has 6,000 fucking minerals right now. Okay, so the game has been reset a little bit. Terran is now on 4 bases. You should know this because he has 3 in the corner, and there's a 4th base you're assaulting right now with Swarm Host. Totally fine. What should you do right now? Fucking expand. Take it right now. Drone. Grab 5 of them. Hatchery. 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 4 of them. I just said 4 hatcheries. So there, 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 there. Expand all 4 of them. Rally all your existing hatcheries right here, right now. One of these patches. Fucking make drones. Make drones. If you fucking play the rest of this game on 38 drones, it is so bad. Right now, you have to understand game tempo. Position. You absolutely have map control right now. Take advantage of it. Expand. Fix your economy. So you can make army faster and more often. If you just have map control and you just make more army, once again, you're putting yourself into an all-in situation where you have no no recovery. Great trade for those locusts. Amazing trade. You killed every SCV and you forced a liftoff. Couldn't get better than that. Where is your production going right now? Zerglings. Don't need it. What the heck happened to Vibe's camera quality? It's old camera. I don't know. People have been saying it sucks stick today. It'll be good tomorrow. I have no idea. This is your only army right now that you have. This is your only army that you have. If you throw it away, you're going to rebuild it. And right now, you already have the siege capability with Swarmhost on his expansion. The fact that you were denying this expansion as well with your Vipers and your Roaches and shit, that was fine. I think that was great. If I were you, all I would do to make sure you're not going to get fucked here is scout for a potential hidden base in the corner of the map. Both corners. Like, make sure there's no other fucking Terran bases randomly somewhere that you don't know about. Because you have all the map control in the world. And if you found one, it would die. And that's the only way Terran's going to have a chance in this game if it goes too long like this. But if you throw your fucking army away, you give Terran the means to retake his area. Like, if you throw all your Roach Ravager away, suddenly he takes this base. And now he's expanded there too. And if you don't fix your economy and he fixes his after he kills your army, he could win the game. So, absolutely, fix your fucking base. I like that you made 2 macro hatches. Fix your fucking natural. Fix your 3rd base. Fix your 4th base. Take a 5th base. Saturate your 6th base over here that exists still. You keep trying to attack with intent to kill like the entire time. And that's not what you should be doing right now. You should have intent to get ahead. Intent to imagine if you were like a fucking samurai, okay? This is how you need to play Zerg. Imagine if you were a samurai and you had samurai armor on and you have a fucking sword And imagine if there was imagine if there was a fucking hippo. A big ass like 2,000 pound hippo that was pissed off outside your village. And they were like, go kill it. Please go kill it. Because it's going to fucking stampede through the village if you don't do something about this. If you're a samurai, how the fuck are you going to engage that thing? Are you just going to fucking charge it head on, like screaming, and stab it right in the fucking head? And like, or like in the chest? And then like fucking run into it and constantly like try to power through it like you're going to dig a hole through the fucking center of it? Or are you going to like run at it, but then like dodge to the side and like try to like disable its legs first? Because you're only like 150, maybe a 200-pound man. You're not a fucking 2,000-pound hippo. If you head on that motherfucker, he's going to run you into the ground probably. He will kill you. So you're going to play it to your advantage. You're going to wear him down. It's exactly what your advantage is right now in this game of StarCraft 2. You have the entire map. You have all the mobility in the world. Everything is at your disposal. All you have to do to attack this guy is something you already have. You can poke him from range. Save a safety range. Swarm host. Be annoying as fuck with Swarm host. Fix your goddamn economy. You're going to run out of gas if you don't. But instead what you keep doing is you keep making Zerglings and Roaches and Banelings, and you keep ramming the motherfucker. You keep ramming a Turtle Terran, which is like the best thing Terran wants you to do. He's like, yeah, please attack into me. I'm a fucking Terran with mech. You're like giving him the advantage, which is why I use the hippo analogy. You're playing to his strength, not yours. His strength is head-on fights with fucking cliffs and shit. That's his strength. You're trading units every time to take these fights. Your strength right now is mobility and starving him out. But you're playing to his right now. You're doing no creep spread. You're doing no drones. You're doing no re-expansions. You're doing units that have, you know, have to like ram him essentially into his base. You're giving him all the advantages.
Damage. Terrible, terrible damage.
Like these swarm hosts are absolutely paying for themselves right now.
That mineral field's gone.
But your lings, roaches, and ravagers and all that shit, they are not. They are definitely not paying for themselves. The only reason why you won this game is because this guy apparently doesn't know how to macro. Like, imagine. This is now, we're going to go back to the samurai analogy. Also, Lead, thank you for the 17-month resub. Vibu F Muta, appreciate you, man. Imagine if you were the samurai who ran out of his village to go kill the hippo, but then the hippo suddenly had a heart attack. It was like, and it just falls over. But no one knew that. Everyone just like saw you charging it, and then the hippo, they heard it fall over. They heard it slam into the ground. And they're like, oh my god, he did it. And then you come back and you're like, guys, hippo's dead. It's not because you killed it. It's because he just didn't understand how to live. Like, something just fucking something happened. Why does this guy have 6,500 minerals? I don't know. There's no reason for that. But if this guy actually fucking macroed, you would not have killed him here. I'm not gonna lie. So don't look at this as like this was played well. There is some fucking problems here for Zerg. The Swarm Host, you did great with the Swarm Host. I do think you should have defended your base when the tanks were attacking you. Otherwise, great job with the Swarm Host. But your choices with your lings, roaches, and stuff like that, it didn't make any sense. You're playing so scared the entire time. Like, I don't feel like there is a form of strategy here for you. And instead, what you're doing is you're just making units because you're panicking. And you're just like, I don't want to die. 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 Make units, make units, make units. My economy sucks. Who cares? Make units. Yeah, gotta fix that shit and you'll be good. Hope that makes sense. Any questions, Carmack, about what we talked about? Game tempo recognition is important. Like understanding who has advantages and who doesn't right now. And when you kill an army and you have all map control, you definitely have the advantage, for sure.
You're the best, Vibu.
Yo, thank you very much, Carmack, for the extra dono. Also, I just realized you actually did donate 25 for a post 10-minute replay, but then you did 30. I haven't done these in so long, I didn't actually catch that until right now. I appreciate you doing 30 more. Thank you, man. You're the best. You're totally fine. I would never have asked you to pay that because I did it anyways. But yeah, the replay analysis I do is 50 for 10 over, like the post 10-minute replay. Because I literally talk about it for like an hour. I really do like thorough breakdowns of it, which is like a coaching lesson basically. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have asked you for it. So I appreciate that you did that because I would never have asked you for that. I might have given you shit for it, but I never would have genuinely been like, you have to pay that because I'm not an asshole. I don't know. Pretty easygoing. All right. Anyways, much love, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Hope this helped anyone understand Zerg a bit better, or the way the game flows and things like that. But do the things I said, Carmack, and you'll have a lot better opener. And really understand that you need a better drone count so that when you do things like this, it's okay to lose your units and rebuild them. The only unit out of your entire army that's not allowed to die realistically is the Swarm Host. And the only reason why that is because if a Swarm Host actually is dying, it means you probably fucked up somewhere because this unit should almost never die. The only time this unit should ever be dying is if like you've lost the game already and like you have nowhere to hide them, or you can't run somewhere and be safe because you're dead. But like, yeah, this unit should never die harassing somebody because otherwise it probably means you just left it somewhere and it just died and you just forgot about it. But anyways, much love. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Good luck. Peace, guys.